I think you've built a solid case for our need for innovation. Do you believe that we have removed the obstacles that we need to allow for that innovation in our workplace? I mean, I believe we have the most passionate, talented workforce. I don't think we need to, find those innovative people. I think we have them, but I personally think that we've perhaps buried them a little bit, and it goes back to the risk. What's our risk posture? So I'd be interested in what you think we need to do, or if we're there.
Yeah, I don't think we're there. Let me just be candid about that. So one of the things that I've done in these first few months is I've traveled around to almost all the centers. I need to admit I wanted to get to Goddard, and my trip got canceled, so I need to get back out there. I'm coming, Rob. Rob Strain told me that Goddard would be the last place I would go, because it's the closest, and he was right. Unfortunately. But I've been to all the other centers at this point, and your premise is totally correct. There are strong, technically motivated, passionate, caring people, strong engineers, strong scientists at all of our centers. And, frankly, going to the centers has been, among the best experiences of my time in this second stint here at here at NASA. Just hearing the ideas, hearing the passion from people at the different centers, things that they want to work on, things that they think are possible, actually things that they've kind of kept alive somehow with little bits of funding here and little bits of funding there, despite the best interest, despite whatever program they were supposed to be working on at the time. I'll just say that. It's remarkable. And so there's no doubt in my mind that we have the raw material, in other words, the talent, to be innovative. But what we need to do is remove those stumbling blocks. And right now, in my view, the agency is too process-oriented to allow that innovation to flourish as well as it could. Now, I mean, sure, that the innovation occurs sometimes. It occurs despite our efforts to stop it in some cases, and it occurs on its own in other cases. But one of the things that my office is going to be doing is taking a hard look at the NASA culture, the systems engineering culture, and the systems engineering rigor that is both required and is sometimes stifling. And we need to figure out a way. I don't have all the answers, okay, I'll admit that. We need to figure out a way to have that rigor when we need it for our flight projects, but allow that creativity and that innovation, that spark of an idea to get worked on, and to allow that seed to flourish before we attack it and say what's wrong with it, and to bring all the agency's processes to bear on that idea. Now, there hasn't been a way to do this previously. There hasn't been a source of funding. But one of the things that we are planning is the Center Innovation Fund. And the Center Innovation Fund is designed for this purpose. It's designed to nurture and to grow innovation at each of the centers. And this fund is going to be managed not at a headquarters. It's going to be managed locally at each of the 10 centers by either the center director or the center chief technologist. And they're going to invest in a portfolio of innovative ideas, innovative either concepts or process improvements or what have you. So there is actually a way to fund these kinds of things now. And what we need to then do is take a little care with our culture to make sure that those really innovative ideas are given the time and the energy needed to grow.
I think I wanted to add a little bit to that. I agree. Our workforce is a superior, highly motivated, capable workforce, innovative workforce. Mm-hmm. We have created a culture in the agency, and it's up to the leadership of the agency, us in the leadership roles, to peel away those barriers that you speak about and allow the innovation to flow up out of the organization. It's unshackling, I guess, is the way to look at it. I started a project, and this Bobby was picking on me a little bit about getting things done with little or no authority or money. I started a project back in November called Project M, right, which you know about it, right? So we were going to put a walking robot on the moon in 1,000 days, and we started it with a LOX methane lander and autonomous landing and hazard avoidance technology on it. It was a technology-rich project for the sake of demonstrating NASA's prowess and can-do innovative attitude. It was really about my workforce and trying to get the workforce latched on the idea that can't shouldn't be in the vocabulary, that we can do in spite of the barriers that are in front of us. And by having something like that as a motivating force goes so much further than any kind of process improvement study, or let's go rewrite this particular document, or let's go study this, do a value stream mapping on this process, or you know, if you go back and you figure you've got to get this done with an insanely impossible schedule, with essentially no money, go find innovative ways to get it done in spite of all that stuff, they'll find ways through. And they've uncovered a number of process insensibilities, I guess you call them, where why does shipping take so long after it enters the loading dock? Why does why does to get a computer take so long to move it across the room? I mean, they just had so many little things that got in their way, and then they said, well, let me just find a way around it because I have to get this job done. And that forcing function is the key. So while we have things like the Center Innovation Fund and some other ideas, the challenge for us as leaders is going to be is trying to do this on a broader scale, where we can have more wholesale changes from that perspective, as opposed to these brilliant pockets of innovation that are occurring all over the agency every day. How do you stitch those together to create something that's more powerful?